Best part about my life is that to be in the present. You talk about how do you enjoy your life, how do you find balance, right? It's to live in the present.
I didn't have an easy experience. I didn't come in as a top-rated recruit. I didn't come in with the opportunity to play right away. I had to earn it. And you know what the greatest honor I've ever received as a player is? In my 4th year and my 5th year, I was named team captain. That, to this day, is the single greatest achievement I've ever had as a football player. Because the men in this room chose me to lead their team. And these were my best friends. These were the guys that knew that I liked to work, that knew that I loved football, that knew that I loved to play, that knew that I wanted to be the quarterback for Michigan. And all the lessons that I learned here on State Street and in the big house, that's still what I bring to practice today. And after 14 years, I love the game more than I've ever loved it. But where did I learn the love for the game? Where did I learn to practice? Where did I learn to compete? It was sitting in the same chairs that you guys are sitting in today.
When I'm playing football, I appreciate it. I'm nowhere else. I'm in the present. It's probably the best part about my life is that to be in the present. You talk about how do you enjoy your life, how do you find balance, right? It's to live in the present. To live like a kid. Like, why do kids have so much fun? Because they just care about what they're doing. And if we thought about what we were doing all the time, you do that when you're on the football field. It's probably the only place that I can really do that, when I really truly am my authentic self. I mean, a lot of people see it, my close friends do.
I think, a lot of it is believing in yourself and believing what you're capable. And I think as you grow up, there's a lot of people along the way that will support you. And there's, as long as you believe in what you're doing and you're doing things you love to do, then you can go out there and be the best at it. And that's, that should give you a lot of enjoyment, fulfillment in your life.
I think my appreciation for the game is at the highest it's ever been. And I think because the priorities, you have your priorities and you make your priorities. So my family is, 1, and then football is 1A, and when it's family time, it's family time, and when it's football time, it's football time.
Well, everyone has their different belief systems, and I think everyone has their different opinions of, those types of things that you talked about. Certainly as an athlete, I care very much what I put into my body. I think that I'm 38 years old. I'm not 22 anymore. All those things are important, and all the little things add up to be big things. So when I'm trying to accomplish things professionally that, in a lot of ways, I'm in uncharted territory. So I've got to do things differently, and I got to evolve over time. I've got things that may have worked in the past, maybe don't work as you move forward. So the lessons that I've learned through my own trial and error, I think I'm at that point in my career, I'm very efficient with what I'm doing. So I try to eat healthy. I try to get the right amount of rest. I try to do the right types of exercise so I can be on the field and be available to my team. I try to be, as productive this time in my career as I was earlier.
We all have experiences that we dream about and that we look forward to. And when we get them, they don't always go our way. I learned that as a freshman on the football field just outside of this gym. And again, I learned it as a second-year player who finally got a chance to play in college. Unfortunately, I learned it 3 weeks ago in our loss to the Giants in Super Bowl 46. But I've always been blessed with the support of my family and friends, and also with coaches that committed their best to me. And with each opportunity came an understanding of the things that it takes to be successful. And often this happens through trial and error, and sometimes through outright failure, because Lord knows I made plenty of mistakes. So whether I was learning through watching, as I did my freshman year at Sarah, or playing and making mistakes over the course of my career, I've continued to learn to embrace every hardship and to seize every opportunity on and off the field. The owner of my current team, Robert Kraft, has told me time and time again, every bump is a bounce. So when I learned very quickly as a professional was that your job is always on the line. I'm in a what have you done for me lately type business. As in all businesses, there are disclosures. In investments, it says past performance doesn't guarantee future results. But that pretty much sums up the NFL. And there are always going to be younger and hungrier athletes competing to take your spot. I got my opportunity when incumbent starter Drew Bledsoe got injured my second year. And all of the practices and meetings and time spent on these fields and in this gym and in those classrooms prepared me to take advantage of the opportunity. And 10 years later, after great success in my career, I wouldn't change a day in my life.
You got to believe that you can do it, and I think the team has a lot of poise. There's no panic, obviously, in our coach. There's no panic in our organization. There's no panic in the players. It's just like, guys, it didn't go well, but let's learn from it. Sometimes when you lose, that's where you learn the most. And if you let it discourage you to the point where that one loss becomes two, the two becomes three, well, then you have a tough season, because it's hard to rebound from 2 or 3 or 4 losses in a row. You got to figure out a way to fix the problem and then get back on track. And then if you can string off a bunch of wins, which we did at one point this year, get you in a decent position. We always have a choice of what we want to focus on. We could always focus on the thing that maybe didn't work or didn't go our way or this or that, or you can focus on, what's positive in your life or all the great things and be optimistic. And I think I choose, more often than not, the joy. I choose the enjoyment. I choose the positives, and it brings me a lot of joy.